So what's up, guys? I wanted to do a quick video on astral travel. Now, for those of you who are entering into what you call the journey to spirituality, or you're trying to discover different systems of spirituality, you're part of what's being called the New Age movement. Undoubtedly, you're gonna encounter the subject of astral travel. Now, what is astral travel? So, astral travel is believed to be the way that the soul, or some people say the consciousness, some people will say the astral body or etheric body, separates itself from the physical body and travels to other dimensions or time, I want to say time zones, maybe even eras of time, and or different time constructs altogether. So there have been groups of people or nation peoples who claim to astral travel to other galaxies. And even if you look at the Dogon, I think it's a book called The Science of the Dogon. They talk about how, you know, they had physicists come. If you read the book Conversations with an Ogatamali, where these physicists went in and interviewed the Dogon chiefs, and they had pictures, for instance, of a sperm, and the Dogon had carved images of sperm. I'm talking about on a microscopic scale to exact detail. And if you know about the Dogon, they don't have electricity, no microscopes, no access to any of that stuff. And for centuries, they've had pictures of sperm drawn to the T. Things like the atom, the smallest building block of all matter, the atom. The Dogon had pictures of the atom drawn. They had pictures of the different strings described in string theory. And this is a group of people, like I say, who don't have Wi-Fi, don't have electricity, no running water, people which some condescending people would call primitive or backwards people. I don't think they're either of those terms. I think they're very advanced civilization with a lot of knowledge that can be shared. But they had all of these images and stuff, and they were able to explain to these physicists what each one of these things were according to their teachings and their understandings. And the physicists' minds were blown. You know, how is it that you know this information? And the Dogon told them that they travel to other star systems and have conversations with their progenitors. The individuals, I think it's the Nomo. Don't hold me to that. I think it's the Nomo who's supposed to be the progenitors of the Dogon. I can't say 100%. But they travel to these other star systems, and this is where they're getting this information from, and they come back and they record the information. So astral travel is something that's being used around the world, allegedly, by a lot of different groups of people and individuals in the New Age movement. So, what's your experience with astral travel or astral projection? Have you tried to astral travel? Some people say that when you have that dream that you're falling, you know, you're sleeping good too. It usually gets you in class. When you're in class, falling asleep, That's usually when you have it. Like when your head on your hand like this, and your goddamn head just do one of them numbers, and it feel like you done fell off a 15-foot building or something. Yeah, that's usually when it gets you. But the dream that you're falling, some people relate that to astral projection, and they say that it's the unconscious feeling of astral travel, the astral body returning to the physical body, and you're jarred out of your sleep. It feels as if you were falling because you unwillingly or involuntarily was astral projecting. So the big thing is, well, how do I astral travel at will? You know, and if I astral travel, then, you know, are there rules to it? Is there a methodology? It's a book by Robert Bruce, if I'm not mistaken. Robert Bruce wrote a book called Astral Dynamics, or Dynamics of Astral Projection, or something like that. Look it up. You may be able to get it off Amazon. It's been years since I've read it. Robert Bruce, Astral Dynamics, or Dynamics of Astral Projection, something like that. That has some really good information in there as far as methodology is concerned. In the astral world, you have to be careful because not all beings are benevolent that you come across in the astral world. The Rosicrucians teach astral projection as well. Matter of fact, once you get to, I think, the 9th degree in the Rosicrucian order, you have to initiate into the next degrees. I think the 9th, 10th, and 11th degree, you have to initiate in the astral realm. So you have to have mastered the technique of astral projection in order to even initiate, because you have to meet the elders who are gonna do the initiation. You have to meet them at a specific place in the astral world. So if you don't know how to astral project, then you can never show up for the initiation, and so you get stuck at a certain degree in the order until you master astral projection. So it's some techniques that you can use, but you need to know that in the astral world, not all individuals that you meet in the astral realm will be benevolent or have your best interests at heart. Supposedly, you'll be tethered to the physical world by a silver cord. Okay, that's the way that a lot of people describe it, that it's like this silver cord that's connected to you, that keeps you tethered to your physical body, so that at any time you're trying to return back to the physical, you can do so because you're still anchored to the physical body. And so you go through all of these elaborate exercises to ground yourself, to center yourself before you astral project. Exercises of visualization, exercises where you close your eyes, you know, you sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and you do some breathing exercises, and then you visualize different colors of light emanating from the crown of your head, forming a toroidal shape, coming back in through the bottom of your feet, you know, extending out a certain distance away from the body. And these different colors of light forms like a force field, if you will, around your body, so that when you go in astral travel, you'll be protected in that realm. The visualization techniques also help you to construct the astral realm, or the astral dimension that you'll be operating in. So there are some books that teach you, you know, how to go into the astral realm and actually create your own sacred place, like build a castle or build some kind of fortification with secret rooms in it that only you know how to access. So if you're ever in trouble, you can retreat back to that safe place in the astral realm and be protected from any harm, because no one will be able to access those secret rooms. So this is interesting information, and I want to say that the Theosophists, members of the Golden Dawn, I think that'd be Aleister Crowley, them, and that group, but members of the Theosophist Society, like H.P. Blavatsky and all of them Theosophists, really kind of taught these principles of astral projection. And I think it was Monroe. I don't know if the guy's name was Robert Monroe, but I know his last name was Monroe. He was the one who kind of popularized the term OBE, or out-of-body experience, because he wrote a book describing these experiences in astral projection. When you really get good at astral projection, you can do it at will. I know individuals personally who claim that they can just sit in a chair and close their eyes and go wherever they want to go. Some of them haven't mastered the technique to be able to determine where they go. So they can sit down and willingly astral project at will, but they don't know how to control where they end up, like the destination of their astral projection. They just end up in random places. So, you know, of course, I'm one for evidence, and I'm very strong proponent in being able to provide evidence for claims. What I'm doing at this point is kind of interjecting a disclaimer here that I cannot prove astral projection to you. So if somebody presents an argument against astral projection or astral travel, there is no evidence of it. Okay, so that's not an argument that I'm willing to have with anybody, because there's no evidence to substantiate the claims. The whole thing with astral projection is that it's non-physical, it's immaterial. And so I can't provide something as evidence of something that is nothing. You get it? I can't provide physical evidence for a non-physical milieu, environment, or experience. So, you know, for those of you who are real sticklers for science and the scientific method, and you believe in having logical conversations and discussions and having evidence and sound arguments and valid arguments and things of that nature, I'm a big proponent of the same things. And so I'm giving you this disclaimer now that there's no evidence for it. So it's not an argument I'm willing to have. I'm just letting you know, making people aware of the teachings, the things that have been said about astral travel and how astral travel is to be done. So if you want to look further into it, you can. All right. Astral travel and astral projection. Some people say, I think the Theosophist movement were big proponents that it is only through the astral world that you'll be able to fully access the Akashic records. Now, the Akashic records is supposed to be like this compendium of mystic information, according to the Theosophists. I've heard it said that the Akashic records is the collective consciousness, or the collective memories from lifetimes that each individual in the history of the world has ever experienced. So it's like the history, the written record of every experience, memory, all knowledge and information from every individual's multiple lifetimes. gathered into one collection that's called the Akashic Record. It's accessing the cosmic consciousness, the collective consciousness, the oneness. I've heard it said that is the Akashic Record. So you guys, you know, do some research into astral travel. Let me know what your experience has been in astral travel. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Make some comments below. Ask some questions or whatever you have on astral travel. This will be a subject that we revisit with more information, and we may do a video on techniques and things of that nature to actually enter into astral projection. I'm the Deck Talking Devil. Until next time, keep learning, my friend.